Welcome to the Beefy Boys, episode 27. We're going to talk about hootenanny and shenanigans. You guys ready for this? Christian?
Oh, I'm ready. Oh, derp.
And Joe?
Yo.
What's happening? You guys both taking sips of coffee at the same time?
I need a sip of coffee. I need a sip of coffee a sip of coffee to process everything that I've had to go through as far as this draft.
Well,
the NFL draft is usually
wait.
a very nerve-wracking time for Seahawks fans.
Well, we got to start with our annual tradition.
All right, let's ease the nerves and go into our tradition.
So officially, Christian is off his keto thing, so he can join us.
Keto is off the Christian.
Bandito is no longer keto.
Keto's
for
off the
beer
Christian.
of the week segment here. So.
I'm not going to be on keto probably for a little bit.
Let's
just
go ahead
because
and give
it's
these a crack.
Stupid.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Pop abouts. Daddy needs his juice.
From Tiny, just kidding. It's actually the second largest microbrew in the country. Redhook out of Seattle is the Peaches for Me IPA loaded with peach and mango. This is a seasonal. I have not yet tried it. It smells very peachy.
It really does. Smells really good.
Some good shit.
Let's see how it tastes. As everybody knows, from a long time ago, back before
Well, I like it.
started on the keto bandito wagon, I didn't like IPAs. Never had. So let's give this one a try. See what
It's not hyper bitter. It's,
Yeah.
You know,
It tastes like if beer was a soda with peach flavor.
and then you get that nice mango-y peach finish. Mm-hmm. Nice light.
to me, it
yellow
just tastes
fruits.
like metal.
He looks like he's trying to say something bad. You don't get the peachy?
It
I get the
tastes like
peachy.
metal to me. It tastes like
It's Red
blood.
Hook. It's like Redhook is huge. They're almost as big as Sam Adams. They're
Maybe
barely
my
a
gums are
microbrew. but
bleeding and I don't
I just
know it.
the can is cool looking, and
I like the can. I really like the
so
can.
here's the issue I'm running into.
The aftertaste. Okay, I'm getting the aftertaste.
The peachy mango thing.
The
yeah.
aftertaste is really what makes or breaks an IPA for me. And I have to say that this one's got a pretty good aftertaste.
There you
It
go.
doesn't spoil it for me, which
No,
is
you can
nice.
keep drinking them because it doesn't have like that. Like Ara calls it soapy when they just taste bitter, like
Yes.
skunk the whole time.
Exactamundo.
But the issue I'm running into right now is all the seasonals are like the summer seasonals, and I can't stand that shit. I
Like
don't
the
like
Coors
summer
Light
ales
citrus?
at all. Yeah, exactly. Or like Radlers, which is just lemonade and beer, and
I don't mind
Shandies
those. I don't go
and-
out of my way to buy those, and like by any means, I don't purchase those or anything like that. But if they're there at a barbecue, let's just say because
Well, yeah, that's what they're for.
Being like Mexican, we have barbecues like all the fucking time in the summertime, right? But people do bring those weird, creepy fucking beers, or like the Schaffer hoppers, or whatever the fuck they're
the
called.
grapefruit ones. Yeah,
I mean they drink those. They drink Smirnoff
the-
out of it. They drink Smirnoff to enjoy it, which is
Yeah, I
Like
was about to
Smirnoff
say
Ice?
the unironic ice.
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna say.
unironic ice.
Jesus.
Because my brother
the
and I will
Twisted.
open up the cooler to grab a beer, and then there's fucking 12 ices just staring at us.
Yeah,
right
my
in the
mom
face. We're
used
like,
to drink.
but they're like, no, we drink that because we love
When
it.
when I was a kid, shout out to my mom, the only thing she would drink was wine coolers, which was like Smirnoff Ice before Smirnoff Ice existed.
I remember that, yeah.
Wine cooler.
Bartles and James, BJ on every bottle, man.
BJ on every.
That's what it said. It said B and
That's
J,
great.
man. I'm not making that up. That was the company name.
There was a
But-
BJ sandwiches at where I used to live.
I mean, I haven't we're gonna do the Fremont Summer once I can find it, but like I haven't been able to find that one specifically yet. But every other summer ale is coming out, and the idea of a summer ale is it's supposed to be light and easy to drink, and it's not supposed to taste bad when it gets really warm, because you're supposed to drink them outside. But that doesn't make for a great taste test. It just kind of tastes boring to me.
yeah, I don't like warm beer.
Well, don't go to England then. That's all they drink is warm.
No, warm
Beer.
beer is not something that tickles my fancy. And you know,
I like
urban legend man Claude loves himself a
Of
warm
course he does.
a warm shaken up beer. And I just it makes me want to puke every time I see it.
Didn't Colin tell the story that he would just walk into the house and Claude would be sitting there in the dark whittling something out of wood, like in the middle of the night, no lights on? Like, that sounds like Claude.
He builds shit, man. He builds shit. He
Yeah.
whittled shit. I had to sleep over at that house once, and I was pretty intoxicated.
Shocker.
And I'm trying to sleep on the couch, and there's like 4 faces that he carved in the windowsill staring at me on the couch. And he said that he actually made those to make his guests uncomfortable when they slept. I was like, well, you know what? You succeeded because I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I didn't like having those wood faces stare at me.
You remind me when I first moved into that house, the roommates found this like creepy like Harlequin Mardi Gras mask. And they took it where they found it and they put it in my closet. But I had like a big walk-in closet, so you really wouldn't notice it until you were all the way in there. It was hella fucking creepy. I found it and I moved it out to the kitchen, and then it came back because they were playing a prank on me, and I was like, this place is fucking haunted.
But
Good times, good times.
hey, man, this beer's tasty.
It's gonna, yeah,
Nice.
It's gonna be a burptacular
Feel the
burp
beef.
extravaganza.
We've got
Feel the
there's nothing
beef,
like there's
huh?
nothing like starting your fucking day off after just being at the Royal Unicorn until 2 a.m. with a nice refreshing peach beer. Shouts out to Royal Unicorn. I've got a great tale.
Sober
about that
Christian
place.
lasted all of what, 4 days?
Sober me lasted until, until I just said fuck it, because I realized fuck it. I was like, I get back home and everybody I was on that Cabo trip with was already drinking again. I took about a week and a half off and I drank about 2.5 gallons of water a day and, was sweating everything out of my system. And then once I felt better, I was like, I'm going to make myself a mind eraser.
Just straight in the deep end, huh?
Yep. I've got the makings for a mind eraser in the fridge right now.
What
Rumor
is
has it I
a
may
mind
make one.
eraser exactly?
Mind
I've
eraser is
never had
mind eraser is part Kahlua, part vodka, part soda water.
That's
So
it.
you go.
Oh, that's not that
it's a
bad.
shot.
Okay.
It's a shot, but it's a tall shot. It's a big shot.
Like a shooter.
So it's a shooter. So you serve it over ice. You layer it. So Kahlua first, then
Okay.
vodka, then soda water.
That's
And
why it
tastes,
looks weird. Okay.
tastes like an iced coffee after you slam it to the dome.
I was thinking of an AMF, not a mind eraser.
No, AMFs
You
are.
might have to make me one of those, brother.
I might have to, man.
All right, brother.
I want to try. Well, that's what fucking Christian
I saw.
says all the
I'll send you guys this link. I saw.
Brother.
I saw this interesting video on YouTube about how Crash Bandicoot is John Cena's first Sona.
They dress the same.
Yeah, they do.
They fucking dress the
That's
same.
hilarious.
Man, John
I
Cena's
saw
getting
this
old.
meme about how they're gonna add Invisible Man to the MCU because it's gonna be and it's gonna be the first time.
Who says he's not already there?
an Invisible Man has played Invisible Man because it's gonna be John Cena.
If John Cena weaseled his way into the MCU,
You mean Bandicooted?
if he crashes into the fucking MCU, I'd be so happy. It's the little things. It's the little things in movies that make me the happiest. Like
Yeah.
if there's like a good character that deserves to be somewhere, but you're not expecting it, and they show up, it just feels good. It feels right.
I also
Like if, like I'm
Like-
saying, like if fucking John Cena were to show up in the MCU, that place would explode
I like how Brad Pitt was an invisible person who died instantly.
instantly.
What movie was that?
Deadpool 2.
Oh,
Yeah, that was so great.
Matt Damon was in that movie too.
Really, I don't remember.
He was what's his name? The bad guy. Or not the bad guy, but Josh Brolin. What's his name in that movie again?
Thanos.
No, in Deadpool.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, Cable.
Cable. When Cable when he shows up on Earth
Yeah.
in like the
Earth.
present time, Earth. He shows up and he
Welcome
steals
to
that
Earth.
truck from those fucking dudes out in the wilderness.
Yeah,
And that's Matt Damon and somebody
Oh.
else.
that's funny.
I can't remember who else was. Oh, I think it was Ben Affleck and
Oh
Matt
yeah,
Damon.
I think I remember that.
That's
now,
I think
yeah.
that's who it was.
Yeah,
And then fucking
that was fucking funny.
Invisible Man fucking parachutes into the power line.
Electrocuted.
Dude, that
All
movie
right.
was great.
I never saw it.
I love R-rated superhero movies like what should I call it? There's obviously Deadpool. Then there's Kick-Ass. I really
Was that
love
R-rated
Kick-Ass.
movie?
Oh yeah.
I never saw that one.
Oh,
I never saw that one.
You guys have never seen it?
Nope.
I recommend.
I don't watch.
both of
You
them.
watch too many movies. There's too many video games to play to watch movies that much. I don't really like
But
movies.
you
It
see,
takes
there's
a-
too many movies to watch, and there's a lot of video games to play.
Yeah.
but I haven't the time.
Yeah.
But movies are easier because
Yeah.
if I'm in bed and I don't have the Xbox and I'm with Haley,
You got a phone, don't you?
it's like it's time to why?
That's why you need a click switch, man.
I can't get a Switch.
Why not?
I can't do it. I wouldn't
they're-
play it. I wouldn't ever play
They're
it.
gonna put Xbox games on the Switch.
I'm thinking
know, I
about
saw
getting
that.
Xbox One Sad. Maybe I will.
But what's that?
The Xbox One Sad, the S all digital, the Sad.
Oh,
Did we not talk about this?
we did.
Those
I
are the
remember that.
initials.
That's funny.
And I think that's actually a great idea. I think as far as like going all digital with your games, I think that's the
I
only
do that
way to go.
already.
Yeah.
Plus
Yeah,
Game
I do it
Pass.
already. I don't
I
buy
would
hard
literally
copies.
buy it just for Game Pass.
Like I get
That's
it if
all.
you want to buy like a Madden cover because it's your athlete or your team's, let's just say you're a big Chiefs fan, you get fucking Mahomes. It makes sense. Get yourself the cover, but you're gonna ruin your disc eventually. It's gonna happen.
And who wants to get up, move discs around? Plus, it's like noisy, and you still got to install it anyway.
Yeah. You gotta install
just
it no matter
better.
what. You might as well just digitally download that shit.
Madden 19's like $12 right now on the PSN for Golden Week.
DDS.
Wow.
Golden
Digitally
Week sale.
download that shit.
DDS. Is there any other kind of download besides a digital download? Yeah. It's stupid.
Wireless?
Saying ATM machine. It's stupid and
Yeah,
redundant.
yeah.
All right. You want to talk about?
You want me to get into my footballs?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about your balls.
I will. Let me bring him up.
The feet balls.
All right. So as everybody knows, the NFL draft just took place. Right. Not only did the Avengers come out, the NFL draft happened the same night that the Avengers was released. So therefore, there was a lot of commotion
There was
in the
another big
ocean.
thing that happened that day too.
What's that?
Taylor Swift released her new single that day.
I don't give a shit.
Now we've hit all three of our major points.
All in one. 3 for 1. It's like a guy shampoo.
We're like cranked
Body
up to
wash,
11
face
today,
wash,
man.
ball wash. I love seeing those guy shampoos. Anyway,
We all chug like 2 cups of coffee. That's why we're so high energy right now, team.
so the first pick for the Seahawks. So I'm going to be talking all about Seahawks. And, I do want to get into more other teams in their drafts. But look, it's the draft. Only the real, people who are invested in football season are really paying attention to the draft. So I don't want to bore you guys too much. But especially you, Vito, since you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Sorry, did you see my spacing out face?
I did. So let's just get the first 4 picks out of the way. So first pick was L.J. Collier out of TCU.
The first Seahawks pick,
Seahawks.
which
pick.
was what, the second round?
It was first round
Oh,
because they had they traded back and they got 2 first rounds and then they traded one to the Giants. And
yeah,
so
I know, because that's what the Giants need to do. The Giants are definitely at a place where they can be trading up in the draft to grab a player who they've targeted. They're really good at that. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm done with that team.
Rest
I'm
in
quitting
peace,
them.
Haskins.
Daniel
you
who?
say you're quitting them, but you're wearing
Daniel
a fucking
who?
jacket.
This is first of all,
I gotta
This
pop my ankle.
hoodie
Listen to
is
this,
very
listen to this one.
comfortable.
Oof.
did not hear that.
Damn it. So he's out of TCU, defensive end. He's, I think, he's not what the Seahawks were. It's not what everybody was expecting the Seahawks to go for with the first pick, but by no means is he a disappointing pick. He's a great pick, and I think he fits the system really well. He recorded 5 sacks in his senior year. He's, I give him the fact that he's legit. And so now we're moving on. And we're going into Marquise Blair from Utah, safety. And if there's somebody that watches Pac-12 football, you would know that Utah has had a pretty punishing defense. Those guys hit hard, they run fast, and they're just animals on the field. I love that pick, and I love that. I love the idea of Marquise Blair coming in there and lighting a fire under Tedrick Thompson and Nico Thorpe and all those guys. And, Bradley McDougall's obviously got his spot on the team. But if he gets injured, it's great knowing that there's Marquise Blair to really put a fire under the veterans' ass, And so you got that. And then here is probably everybody's most exciting pick for the Seahawks. And this is everybody's exciting pick. This is like the Seahawks going for their flashy, big fucking players. So DK Metcalf. You guys know about him.
They got him at
Donkey
the
Kong?
end of the second round or end of the third round, end of the second round.
They got him they got him in the second round, 32nd pick.
At the end. Yeah. I
And-
mean, that's a great value because there was talk about him going in the first
In the
round,
first
which is
in the
crazy.
first 10, they
Which
were
is
talking
crazy.
about him going.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy.
I don't think so. I
He's a
didn't
beast.
think so.
He's a giant, but
He's a giant, but the thing is he's
production
so
isn't
big
there.
that all you
Yeah,
can do is
exactly.
run go routes with the guy. So that's
fine.
like his limitation
yeah.
is
Well, again, but
you're a go route.
The problem is that that's not the Seahawks offense. The Seahawks offense is give the ball to Chris Carson for -2 yards.
okay.
Throw a 5-yard pass on 3rd and 7, and then punt.
And I agree
That's
with
the
you. I
Seahawks
agree with you.
offense.
I agree with you. But here's the reason why I think that their system is done. That bullshit system is over with. And this is the reason why I think the Seahawks are taking Russell Wilson's deal seriously, because they didn't only pick Metcalf. They picked up a wide receiver from West Virginia, Gary Jennings Jr., and then a wide receiver from Hawaii, and that's John Ursua. I think that's how you say his last name. I can't fucking pronounce that shit. But yeah, he played in Hawaii. So there's, 3 wide receivers in one draft. They're talking about Doug Baldwin not coming back for the season,
I say he might never play again.
which I would be okay with. Not because I don't think Doug Baldwin's a good player, but I think it's not worth it for him to tear his fucking body apart. It's just not worth it for him. He's really tearing his fucking body apart. His shoulders fucked, his knees fucked, his Achilles fucked.
Well, fuck.
It's bad.
But
And I think when he hurt his knee, it really affected him in the way that he played. And it's not that Doug Baldwin doesn't have the heart, and it's not that Doug Baldwin can't play. It's just the fact that Doug Baldwin is so limited to what he can do in the slot now because his bones are just they're giving out on him, and it happens with players that have high motor drive. So I think I'll take another one. I'm gonna finish this one up. Vito, would you mind grabbing me that nice little orange can? I like these beers.
Vito, would you like a second one as
Yes,
well?
sir.
I like these beers a lot. Folks, get yourself the Redhook Peaches for Me IPA. You guys are
I
gonna
still
love it.
think the Seahawks should sign a golden retriever to replace Doug Baldwin, and they can call him Dog Baldwin, and then it can be Airbud Golden Receiver, but in real life. Ain't nothing in the rule book says a dog can't play football.
Dog
That's all I'm saying.
Baldwin.
Dog Baldwin, yeah.
So, the wide receiver part of the draft is a big part why I think the Seahawks are taking Russell Wilson seriously. Why would you get a player that runs as fast as DK Metcalf, who's as big as DK Metcalf, and he only runs go routes? We know that. So now you're going to move him to the outside. You're going to have Tyler Lockett on the outside, and now you're going to have these other 2 wide receivers. Plus, you've got David Moore in there. And then the other tight ends that the Seahawks have are both great receiving tight ends. Will Disley and Ed Dixon can both block, and they can both receive the ball really well. And I think Will Disley showed great value in his position in his first few games in the NFL, unfortunately, until he fucked up his knee, which is no bueno. You don't want to fuck your knees up, folks.
I just think
Speaking
Pete Carroll's
from
100
experience.
years old, and Brian Schottenheimer is the most boring coach in the NFL, and they keep signing players who look like they should be able to play well with Russell Wilson's skill set, but then they just don't have the coaching staff to capitalize on that.
They
So,
stick to the fucking passing system, and they allow Russell Wilson to control the game from play 1. Seahawks win 13 games.
they're not going to do that though.
Seahawks
That's the
win
problem.
13 games.
They're going to take DK Metcalf, who's
They
like
beat the Rams. They beat the Rams once. They beat the Niners twice. They beat the Cardinals twice.
No, they're not going 5-1 in their division. No way. That team
I
is
think
7-9
so.
at best.
The division's great, and I think that it's fun to see that the division is beefing up. And a lot of Husky players went into the NFC West, which is fun for me because as somebody who watches Red Zone, I love watching UW players go to the pros, and I love watching them play for whatever team they're on. Danny Shelton was on the Browns. I enjoyed watching him on the Browns. Then he went to the fucking Patriots and won a Super Bowl. I'm happy for the guy. And he's putting it on for Washington. And he really did, he shouted out the Dogs a whole bunch when he won his Super Bowl, and I think it's nice, man. It's good to see. But speaking of the Huskies, the Seahawks went after one of my favorite college athletes of the year, and probably who I would think that if the Seahawks were going to go for a defensive player on the Huskies, it would be this guy. And they picked up Ben Burr-Kirven from Washington, inside linebacker. It's fucking insane, man. This guy is all over the field. He balls out. I love watching him play. And it's fun for him because he lives here. He's from here, so he doesn't have to move anywhere. He doesn't have to go anywhere. He just gets to stay home, which is nice. You know, I think players do tend to like that. And I think come around his contract season, which is going to be in about 4 years, you're going to be dealing with the absence of KJ Wright. You're going to be dealing with Bobby Wagner getting up there in his later years, which I don't think Bobby Wagner is going to be retiring anytime soon. Bless me. But you're dealing with the linebacker core that's it's going to dwindle in the next 4 to 5 years. So I think picking up somebody like Ben Burr to develop under players like KJ and Bobby Wagner, it's going to allow him to develop into a significant part of that defense. And then they're going to sign him for a big contract. He's going to be a hometown player. I don't see Ben Burr-Kirven playing for another NFL team except for the Seahawks. And I'm excited. I think it's fun. The Seahawks also drafted somebody named DeMarcus Christmas, which is fun because his name is Christmas. Mm-hmm. But, you know, happy holidays, folks. Ooh. It's always Christmas in Seattle. But I'm excited. You know, I'll cut the topic. I enjoy talking about my fucking draft.
I want to talk about the draft.
Well, that's fine. But I'm done talking about my side of the draft. And as far as Huskies, I remember you talking your shit, saying that, well, how many Huskies usually get drafted in a year? Well, I hate to break it to you, bub. There was 8. 8 fucking Husky players that got drafted this year. Think about that. And there's still free agents too. So you never know.
How many Alabama players got drafted this year?
Oh fuck. I don't know.
10.
Or you're talking about Alabama.
10.
Alabama's got 5-star recruits on their third string. You're talking about Huskies who get these guys at 3-star recruits and turn them into 4-star recruits for the NFL. You know, and that's pretty impressive. And seeing where the Huskies defense was in 2016, 2017, they're not as good as they were in 2016. I mean, that's just obviously a given. They led the country in takeaways back then. They led it in points allowed. They were just insane. And they also, you know, they held Alabama's quarterback to a fucking minimum. If it wasn't for Bo Scarborough and his fucking ginormous ass running almost 200 yards, I'd say the Huskies would have had that game. But I think Jake Browning does tend to choke under pressure a little bit. And I think that he got hit hard once against, this goes back in 2016 when they played USC here at home. So the Huskies were just balling out on everybody in the Pac-12. They were just they were putting up like 40 to 50 points against any opponent in the Pac-12. Then USC came along. Something happened, man. Some bad fucking juju. It was dark. It was a primetime game. It was in Husky Stadium. Jake Browning got hit, and after he got hit in the first quarter, Jake Browning was never the same. He has not been the same player since that game, and it shows. Anyway, I'm excited for the Huskies next year. I'm going to be ranting a lot about them coming in the fall. Joe, I'm going to switch it on over to you so I can close my laptop because it's about to die, my friend.
Oh, there you go. So, the one smart thing that the Seahawks did do is trade out of the first round because smart teams know when you have a lot of holes, you need as many draft picks as possible. Now, if you were to guess when the last time the Giants traded down in the first round of the NFL draft, when would you think that was, Christian?
When they traded down?
Traded down. Not even out of the first round, just down. Just traded their pick down to get more picks. When do you think the last time that was? Something that,
Oh, God. I
something
can't.
that the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick do basically every year. Ballpark it.
I'm going to say 2011.
2006 was the last time. 2006. The Giants have forever zeroed in on the one guy they want. They take that guy and move on. So here are their number one first round draft picks since then. Or you know what? Let's just go since 2010 because that's a decent amount of time. That's 10 years. Okay. 2010, first round draft pick, Jason Pierre-Paul, no longer with the team. 2011, Prince Amukamura, no longer with the team.
Wow.
2012, David Wilson, out of the league. 2013, Justin Pugh, no longer with the team.
Pube?
Pugh. 2014, Odell Beckham Jr. Can't fault that one, although no longer with the team. 2015, Eric Flowers. Disaster. Out of the league. 2016, Eli Apple. No longer with the team. 2017, Evan Ingram. Sure, he's still around. That's 2 years ago. And 2018, Saquon Barkley. So, yeah, the Giants have this long history of making terrible picks that don't work out. And this year they have the 6th overall pick. What do they need most of all? They need a quarterback. Who is the two good quarterbacks and then 2 way overrated quarterbacks in the first round, right?
Let's just say that, there's the good quarterbacks in the draft are Kyler Murray and Dwayne Haskins.
Yes, and then
those are the 2 only good. Those are the not overrated quarterbacks.
And then the hyper overrated ones who everyone had going in the first
from-
round would be Drew Lock from Missouri
From Missouri, yes.
and Daniel Jones.
Yep.
So with the 6th overall pick, again, nobody wanted him. Daniel Jones, 6th overall. TheRinger.com had him rated 100 on their top 100 big board, and they only put him in the top 100 because they knew the Giants would draft him. They didn't want to. They were forced to. He was the 6th ranked quarterback.
He's tapping the can.
6th ranked.
Why?
I don't know.
He was taken number 6 overall. The Giants could have traded way down. They could have, first of all, they had 2 first-round picks. They could have taken him with the 2nd pick and gotten someone at a position of need. Instead,
I agree, man. I think them picking that quarterback was a big fucking mistake.
Yes,
The only thing
whole
that
world
I can say,
agrees.
the only thing that I can say is, to find the silver lining in everything, he fits their system.
Their system is garbage, though. Their whole
the
system was
problem.
throw the ball downfield to Odell, who isn't there anymore.
Yeah, but you guys
Like-
just signed Sterling Shepard to a massive deal because
Yeah.
he's done
So what are we
much
trying
for
to
your
do
guys'
then?
team.
Are we trying to bottom out? Then why the hell do we give Golden Tate $30 million guaranteed? What are we doing? Dave
Don't sleep
Gettleman's a
on the tape.
moron.
Don't sleep on
First
the
of
tape.
all, you can tell that Dave Gettleman is a shithead because he's an overweight, middle-aged white man with a goatee. So he has to be a shithead because that's the only people who keep their facial hair like that. But what? Name me one pudgy, middle-aged white man with a goatee who's not like a sexual predator or a shithead of some kind.
You
all right?
sound like a Marvel movie, dude.
It's true.
You sound like Brie Larson.
It's true. Anyways, they
But
could have traded
anyway,
down.
I get your point.
Then with
the
the,
Giants
17
are
overall
fucking
pick, the
dumb.
17 overall pick, mind you, is the pick they got for Odell Beckham Jr. Okay, and who do they pick? They pick a 340-pound run-stuffing defensive lineman from Clemson. Again, Dexter Lawrence wasn't even the best defensive lineman on the board. That was Montez Sweat, who everyone is worried has this injury, which has been debunked. He got diagnosed with this weird heart condition at the combine, but it was a
That's
misdiagnosis.
right. It was a misdiagnosis. You're right. I
misdiagnosis.
remember reading
So,
about that.
Yeah.
And one of the Giants cornerbacks that got picked in the draft got shot. And
What?
he's recovering.
Who?
Yes.
Which one? DeAndre Baker
cornerback-
from Georgia?
Let me see.
That's the one they traded up for. So,
No, Corey Ballantyne.
oh, he was like 5th or 6th round. Well,
Yeah,
whatever.
to make a full recovery after being shot early in Sunday morning in Topeka, Kansas.
Oh, this just happened.
Just
Jesus
happened.
Christ.
He's expected to be
It's
okay.
like when
It's gonna
Plaxico
happen.
shot himself in the leg. Oh my god. This team is a laughingstock of the NFL. They're the new Browns.
So they are. They really have become the new Browns. And,
So
and
I
here's the
said
thing
in
about the Browns as well, just before you get too far into your thing, is because the Browns look terrific on paper. They look fantastic on paper, especially picking somebody like Greedy Williams as well. Having a person with the name Greedy Williams just makes me more excited.
But
to
he's
watch a
another
team
guy who
like
fell
the
for
Browns.
stupid reasons. Like people didn't like him because he can't tackle. And as John Dorsey said, we don't pay cornerbacks to make tackles. We pay them to cover.
Play the ball,
Yeah.
cover.
So-
They're essentially be the fucking wide receiver of the defense.
Yeah.
Play the ball, cover it. That's all they need to do. Tackling is big, and I think that's why, but tackling is more for the safeties. You want to bring your safeties in for
Sure.
that hard hitting,
But not cornerbacks.
knock your fucking teeth out.
I said a few weeks ago when they traded Odell, I was done with the Giants. And after this draft, I really am.
Play with your balls and cover it.
So I've
If you're gonna play with your balls, you
I
better
finally
cover it, bud.
landed on my new NFL team. And
We say Buffalo.
to peek back the curtain, right before we started, Christian said it's going to be something weird, and then he immediately said the team I'm about to announce.
Colts?
So yeah,
Dude, I knew it was going to be some fucking weird team like the Colts.
led by Andrew the Giant Luck, Adam Vinatieri, proven winner, Guess who traded out of the first round because they didn't like any of their available prospects?
Colts.
Grabbed Rock Sin in the second round, who was another projected first rounder. For some reason, nobody wanted to draft cornerbacks this year. The Indianapolis Colts.
Nobody wanted to draft any
are my
top
team
prospects this
going
year, which is
forward.
Spooky.
Indianapolis Colts.
I like it. You know what? I'll take it. I'll accept it.
Why'd you roll your eyes at it?
Because I thought you were going to say Buffalo, and I was going to be excited because Buffalo is my second team.
No,
And
Josh Allen is terrible, and that was a terrible pick.
Josh Allen is not, dude. Allen's not
Josh
terrible.
Allen.
Who?
There was the one drafted this year who's also named Josh
the
Allen.
linebacker. But he went to the
Jacksonville.
Colts. Or
Who
no,
also
Jacksonville.
should have drafted a quarterback, but whatever.
Well, they picked up
Nick Foles, who's like 30.
No. They picked up Gardner Minshew from Washington State. Sure. But Minshew can really sling the ball, which is I think what they're looking for. So they're going to let him
You either
develop.
draft a quarterback in the first round or not.
I love the idea of bringing in a quarterback, not drafting a quarterback to start your franchise. Granted, the Seahawks had to do that with Russell
you mean
Wilson.
the Kansas City model? Have him sit? Dave Gettleman said Daniel Jones, or is it? I can't even remember. Is it? No, it's Daniel. Is it Jones? See, I don't even know. He has literally the most boring white man name ever. Daniel something is going to sit behind Eli Manning for 3 years.
I didn't know Daniel Radcliffe was in the football.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, these are burpy, man.
AFC South, I don't trust the Titans, but the Colts are my team now. So.
Titans are a weird team. They're a team that you don't ever see. They're a team that don't do anything significant, but yet they
sneak into the playoffs.
they'll go to the
somehow.
wild card.
Well, because the AFC South is so
And
bad.
then when they go to the wild card, they're on the spotlight, and then they always fucking blow it. The problem is they're going to kill Mariota before he can become the quarterback that he's destined to be. It happens all the time in Tennessee, folks. Tennessee is the team that butchers your quarterback. The Jets are the team that butcher your wide receivers. It just happens. There's teams that butcher everything. The Seahawks are the team that butchers your running backs.
It's just ridiculous to be in a city with the New York Jets and still be the laughingstock of the NFL. We're the worst team in New York, and the Jets are there, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. It's not fair. See, I think...
That's why I'm done. I'm quitting them.
Honestly, every rookie QB that comes in should sit on the bench for a year behind a veteran. And that's just...
but that's just not the way
Let's just be
anymore.
real here. If your team fucking sucks, and you pick who is considered to be a franchise quarterback, right? Why wouldn't you just take the suck, just let your team blow, let your QB develop on the bench, which it does happen. Take notes from Mahomes.
It's the contract situation. You have them for 4 years at ridiculously cheap rates, then they become ridiculously expensive. So once you draft that rookie quarterback, you have 4 years to make the Super Bowl, or it's not going to happen.
And I think that you're not going to get there unless, like I said before, Russell Wilson with the Seahawks, it's crazy. Shit happens. He comes in, he takes over. The organization was in the dumps in 2011. That 2012 draft was huge. They changed their uniforms. They kind of fucking brought in this new chip on the shoulder attitude that we're the shitheads and the laughing stock of the West. We're going to do something about it. Russell Wilson came out, had a terrific rookie year. Then he came back out for his sophomore year, which people said he was going to flunk. People said he was going to have his sophomore slump. They went 13-3 and won the Super Bowl. Shit happens.
What have you done for me lately?
Shit happens, right? But let's just take quarterbacks like Sam Darnold from the Jets. You bring him in. You want him to be your franchise quarterback. You throw him into a game against the fucking Lions, and he throws a pick six on his first fucking play. Because it happens, man. These guys are so young. They don't know what the fuck the NFL is like. They don't know what it's all about, and they have to develop. And just allowing them to be on the bench allows them to develop. I think with Joe getting up, that brings me to my next point.
I have to pee.
Our piss breaks are brought to you in part by our Beefy Boys Instagram. Check this out. Vito, it's good to hear your laugh, pal.
Yeah, buddy.
Makes me think. It's like, I know we talk a lot of sports and shit, but you're getting there, bud.
Yeah, I'm seeing, like, I'm taking the opportunity to do some social mediaing while you guys are doing the sports.
I
'cause
see Vito's all
I-
over the. Hey, everybody, Vito's live on the
I do not
on those social medias.
I do not get the sports, and so I need and maybe at some point I'll try to get like a YouTube video or something that runs me down how to get into sports.
The NFL explained in 10 minutes. Or whatever.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Yeah, man, I had to do that with Game of Thrones.
Dude, I'm gonna have to do that too. 'Cause
I had to watch
I missed last season.
I had to watch a fucking hour-long recap of everything that happened. And when I was watching that recap, the guys, put 7 seasons in one fucking video in the amount of time of one episode,
Yeah.
the runtime of one episode. So you're literally taking the suck and you're getting the custard shot of Game of Thrones all at once. I will say this. I'm caught up. I'm not going to ruin anything for you, but there's nothing to really spoil at this point. Joe, have you watched?
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
There's nothing to spoil at this point. There's literally been nothing that's like,
I also didn't watch the last season.
oh, well, that's it's a whole different
I also already know what
fucking
happens.
shenanigans
So.
right there. Fuck.
Next week, well, I'll wait till I sit back down.
Yeah, I already know about like the dragons and the spear and the zombies. So
We talked about that.
yeah,
Fuck.
and that what's his face is fucking what's her face.
It's fucking his aunt.
Yeah.
A lot of incest on that shit.
No, we already decided that if there was a Westeros fantasy draft, the Night King would be the #1 overall pick for quarterback. Because he can throw a javelin like a mile without it dropping because of gravity. And hit a dragon,
Fucking took a dragon
a
down with
ziggy-zagging
one
dragon
fucking-
in mid-flight.
with one spear.
Yeah, exactly. So #1 overall pick. Josh
Yeah, but he was
Allen
a
of that
mid-
shit.
a spear.
I think Jon Snow falls in the draft. I think Jon Snow will fall. After seeing this recent episode,
Have you watched them all?
He's-
They're
he's-
giving him a lot of shit because
these
he's
recent episodes,
so-
I think he's falling in the draft because I do think that Jon Snow is doing the best he can, but unfortunately the guy's just not that fucking smart.
Well, Kit Harington is only like 5'6" in real life, and they've been dropping a lot of short jokes at his expense in this episode. But like,
Wait, did you say he's 5'6"?
yeah, I think he's 5'8" maybe.
Zoinks.
But the thing is, Daenerys is 5'1" in real life, so he looks tall standing next to her. But then if you pay attention when she's walking around, she's like short. She's very tiny. So
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to spoil it, Vito, but I think my sister had the best analysis of the most awkward scene from episode 2, which is
Yep. I know exactly what you're gonna say. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
I think I've
Arya.
already been spoiled on that. Yeah.
It's weird because Arya looks like a little boy,
She's a
an
little-
11-year-old
Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
but she has nice side boob. That's what my sister said.
She's like the little girl of the series. She's
Yeah.
like the children of the series.
Yeah.
And then you have to watch her fucking Gentry
Gendry.
Yeah.
in the crypt.
See, that's the thing is, I don't even know who Gendry is because I
Gendry.
can't remember.
You do know who he is.
Well, yeah, but I can't remember.
because the
Robert's
last
bastard.
time you saw him, he was rowing away on a fucking boat.
He was getting leeches on his cock.
That's true. Oh yeah.
Oh, that guy.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Stone Man.
Yeah.
No, not the Stone Man.
Not Stone Man.
What?
Jorah's the Stone Man. What are you
Oh,
talking
that's
about?
right.
Yeah.
He's been
You're
fucking
so far
like
behind.
3 years since I've actually even watched anything.
See, I
But
like
anyway.
when we talk about Game of Thrones, even half spoilers, because since our episodes are delayed by a week, our listeners have so much time to catch up. Like, if you haven't watched
Yeah.
episode 2, by the time this episode of Beefy Boys comes out, episode 4 would have already aired. So
Oh yeah, it's true.
you're
It happens,
behind
folks.
the 8 ball.
Dude, I got what I gotta do is
Frank Clark traded
when
to
I
the
get
Chiefs.
home.
Yeah,
Forgot to throw that in there.
I got-
that happened weeks ago.
I know, but it happened during this week.
Oh, did
so I had to
it?
throw that out there.
I see.
I gotta watch that recap. And
Yeah, watch the recaps on
and
Screen
then,
Junkies. Shout out to Screen Junkies. Check them out.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna just fucking binge the first like 3 episodes.
Well, the first 2 are so they kept saying that these ones are going to be extra long, and the first 2 are both a regular length. Apparently, the one
First two
tonight
are regular length.
is
and
gonna
then
be
it
like
starts
90
getting
minutes.
up. Tonight's a new episode.
Yeah.
Sunday morning coming down. Tonight's going to be a new episode.
Yeah.
Probably not going to catch it until Friday.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I want to watch
You can start watching it at like 6 p.m. You know,
it. Ooh,
if you have HBO Go, which you do if you have
do.
HBO. Yeah,
I do.
they put it up at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so I
I
think
forget.
it's 6
Is
p.m.
there like a HBO Amazon deal?
There is a HBO Amazon deal.
I
so
apologize
Actually,
to your-
yes, I should point that out.
to
If you
your
have
ears for
Amazon
burping like
Prime
that.
and you have the HBO connection, watch it through Amazon Prime because the quality is better. HBO Go streams in like 720p. It looks like shit.
I'm
But,
watching it through Prime. I'm
yeah.
watching it through Prime.
Yeah, so you can get HBO through Prime if you have Prime.
No, you need to have HBO already. I'm
Oh.
pretty sure it's only linked through HBO Go, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think you need the cable subscription, the really expensive one. You can't just get the HBO Now, which is a $15 a month one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Because I just...
$50 a month.
15,
Oh, I was gonna say $50 a month for HBO. I'd rather fucking jump
There's
off
too many...
my roof.
Dude, the whole point... I'm going on right now. The whole point of being a cord cutter and not having cable was that it was supposed to be cheaper. And now there's so many services. I pay for Amazon Prime. I pay for Hulu, and I without ads, mind you, and I pay for Netflix. I'm on my mom's HBO Go login. Shout out mom, because she's on my Hulu login. Come at me, people, whatever. And now there's this new fucking Disney one I'm gonna have to get if I want to watch Marvel movies. And it's like $100 a year.
You're full of shit.
What?
It's like $7. Isn't it? It's like $7 a month.
Yeah, it's $100 a year.
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing.
I thought you said. I'm sorry. I jumped the shark and thought you said $100 a month.
No.
You're full of shit. It's like
It's
$7.
too much. It's too much.
Okay, but $100. Yeah, I mean, granted, with my Xbox subscription being fucking $60.
Yeah, I pay my
a
$60
year,
for PS Plus. I pay my $50 a year for fucking Nintendo Switch
it should
Online.
be like that.
Come
Where
on.
you pay like one down payment for your subscription for 12 months.
Yeah.
Should be like that. I don't mind paying $60 for my fucking Xbox subscription in fucking June and forgetting about it all year because they don't take money out of my account.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know, but it's like if I'm on Hulu, Spotify, Netflix, Prime, holy fuck. I'm literally just watching my fucking bank account just
well, that's why there's all those
swivel down
apps
the
that like
drain.
they'll tell you all your recurring payments so you can cancel because there's a million of them, you know?
There is.
I saw one recently that was like Date Box where they like send you a personalized box of stuff so you can have a date. Like, can't I just go out?
Yeah.
There's like the
That
Hunt a
sounds dumb.
Killer box that's supposed to be like a serial killer sending you shit. There's 1,000 of these.
That sounds
You got
fucking...
Bark Box for your dogs. You got
Well, but, come on, man.
Yeah,
Dogs
I
need
should get that
something.
one. Yeah.
Dogs need something.
I did the free trial of Nature Box.
I can't
which is,
like I
cool
can't like
snacks.
not do something nice for the animals, man.
Speaking of personal shit, I got I might get a snake soon.
Ooh.
You're what?
Jane and I might get a snake
I'm
soon.
gonna get you a
Oh my
cobra.
God,
You need a
No.
cobra around the neck.
No.
You gotta be careful. Did I ever tell you a story of my friend's sister story about a cobra?
No?
Okay. My friend Courtney's sister Trudy had a coworker, so you know the story is true when it starts like that.
Judy.
Coworker had a pet Burmese python, okay? This thing, she would loved it. She would like sit with it in bed and let it like coil itself around her, you know. She loved this giant python. Anyways, it stopped eating. Stopped eating for weeks. And it would do this weird thing where when she was like lying in bed, it would lie itself next to her and stretch itself all the way out. So after a few weeks of it not eating, she goes to the vet. She's like, "What is up with this snake?" And she tells the vet what's happening. And the vet is like, "You have to get rid of this snake." And she's like, "Why? I love this snake." I'm like, "The snake is preparing to eat you."
Oh, because it was going lengthwise.
Yeah, it was stretching itself out to make sure you could fit inside of it, and it has stopped eating to prepare its stomach for you.
Oh
You
my
need to get rid
God.
of this snake.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't. Oh holy shit! I did not think about that until you said you need to get rid of this. Then it all of a sudden clicked because that fucking thing is length. No way.
Yeah, it's like measuring itself. That's what they
that's
do.
so fucking spooky. I don't like that at all.
I saw a post about that.
So yeah,
too,
don't get a big
about
python.
somebody else who had to do that. Yeah.
Get a pet boa constrictor. I'm gonna get a pet fucking what are they called? Komodo dragon.
Then why? You know what those things do? They're so
They kill
venomous.
you.
They
They
bite
kill
you,
you.
and then they just hunt you for 4 days because they know they only have to bite you once, and their venom will kill you.
I know. I'm
It's
gonna go
crazy.
to the zoo. I'm gonna go to the zoo and take one out of the fucking glass and bring it home.
They do have
Put a
them
collar
over at
on
the
it.
Woodland Park.
Yeah, they're
You're
scary.
gonna walk it around.
I'll walk around, put a fucking collar on it.
It's a fucking
Walking around the
dinosaur,
neighborhood.
4 foot long lizard.
You know what I do want? Is
You
an
could put a
iguana.
sombrero on it and take pictures.
I was gonna say, I want an iguana with a fucking sombrero on. Hey, look, it's got a hat. I don't care if it's wearing a fucking suit.
But like a 10-gallon hat, yeah.
Hey, that's so funny, dude. I've never seen so many random reptiles hanging about. people just trying to put it on your chest. You're like, dude, I don't want this thing on me.
Get
Please.
your
Then they
hat
put,
wearing
Then they put
lizard.
the lizard on you, and then it just falls asleep. Because it's like
Well, they're probably overworked, man.
it's all its day is just climbing on tourists and collecting 10-cent tips. Tip, a
It
tip.
makes me think of the drunk monkeys. You heard about this?
Oh,
I think
do
it's
know
like in
about
the
drunk
Caribbean
monkeys.
or in some like weird South Pacific island. There's these monkeys that will steal your alcohol. Like they figured out how to get drunk, so they like distract the tourists, and then the other monkeys come in and take the bottles.
That's funny.
It's like the pig. It's like the pig that broke into like some camp's cooler, slammed like 20 beers, and went and got into a fight with a cow. I think that's a headline from somewhere. I can't remember where it's from. I think it's somewhere in like the weird part of Europe, the Claude part of Europe.
So Eastern
The
Europe,
fucking squatting
Estonia
union.
or-
It's in the
Yeah.
squatting
Jesus
union.
Christ.
But
Oh,
yeah, this pig broke into a campsite, slammed a whole bunch of beers, and then went and picked a fight with a cow. I think that's terrific, man. I love it. I wish I could see that. I think it's funny that reptiles scare people so much, just because I don't think reptiles really care about. They don't really care about people.
Well, that's why I don't understand why you want them as pets.
Yeah, I get that. They don't care
Vito,
about.
explain yourself.
They don't care about people.
Oh my God!
It's like they're
Speaking,
not like dogs, where
hold
it's
on.
like you have a dog who waits at the door for you every time you fucking leave. You leave and your fucking iguana is just gonna go to sleep.
But speaking of wildlife,
Camo in his tree.
I had a terrifying run-in with some local wildlife today. So as I was leaving my house to come over here, you've been in my house, right? Or I told you, on one side of my house we have this out-of-control bamboo thicket, basically. Like we planted some, not ceremonial, but like ornamental bamboo over there, and it just went wild because fucking bamboo is crazy. And so there's basically like a bamboo forest inside of my house, and I don't know what happened, but something spooked some of the rats in there. So I see the bamboo start shaking like crazy, and these two rats just come charging out of the thicket, like right at me. And so
Rodents,
they
man.
don't even like veer. Like they literally ran like right next to my foot. And I jumped up in the air. I'm like, get away from me, you fucking rats. And I don't know where they went. They like ran behind the trash can.
I remember one night we were walking out of frequent guest, frequent listener Mark. We were walking out of his houseboat, and we're walking to
Mark
the
has a
car.
houseboat?
His family's got a houseboat,
Okay.
Lake Union. It's fucking awesome.
Like Sleepless in Seattle houseboat? Like,
Yeah.
That's the same spot.
Same spot.
That's funny.
And so we're leaving his houseboat. We're walking out to the car. We're all fucked up, the usual. And there's a fucking family of raccoons walking across the street. And when the raccoons have their little children with them, they get really protective.
Yes.
And the
Yes,
mama
they do.
stands up on its feet and hisses and shit. I thought it was going to charge me, so I threw a beer bottle at it. I threw a Coors Light at it, and I hit it spot on. Uh-oh.
We good.
This week's podcast is brought to you by the Beefy Boys. Just three cool dudes hanging out, talking about sports, video games, music, and whatever else they feel like. Find them at their website, www.beefyboys.com. Also, where you find your other podcasts, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, all the regulars. The Beefy Boys, the best show on planet Earth.
Keep talking.
We've a spill, folks.
Can somebody go get me like a towel?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Vito, carry the torch, bud.
We're still recording, by the way. It hasn't even dropped.
What's your freaking raccoon story though? Like, how am I supposed to carry that on?
I got a raccoon story for you.
I'm gonna climax it.
I'm gonna climax that raccoon story.
I was walking home when I was working for the Observer Company. We had company housing in the U District over by the Burke Museum. And when you walk up, whatever it is, University Way there's those big like retaining walls. Mm-hmm. There was a raccoon up there. And I was walking home, and it was like totally stalking me. It was following me. And every time I would turn to look at it, it would pretend it was doing something else. But then I would just keep going, and it would just keep following me. It was really creepy. And then What was I saying? Oh, I have 2 more raccoon stories, actually. I've had a lot of interactions with raccoons.
It's Raccoon City over here.
So when I lived at Claude's house, the party house or whatever, we used to feed one of the neighborhood cats, but we didn't want it in the house, so we'd like give it food on the porch. And this raccoon came by, and we were like sitting on the porch, and this raccoon knew that there was cat food here because it must have come and got some before. So it starts walking up towards the porch, and it looks up and it sees us, and we look at it. It's me and Ara and like Joanne and like some other people. And we look at the raccoon, and the raccoon looks at us, and we look at the raccoon, and then it just keeps coming. We're like, no, you're not coming up here, raccoon. So we start like stomping at it, and it runs away. And then when I was in Doe Bay in Orcas Island, Ara and I were in a yurt, right? And it was like right on the water. So we went down to the beach one night. It's like pitch black. It's very much like super rustic there. We saw a raccoon swimming around just like in the ocean. We'd never seen that before. We'd literally never seen a raccoon go for a swim, let alone in the ocean. But it was so weird looking.
I was playing ping pong and ding dang. So anyway, the raccoon, man, let me tell you, stood up on its 2 feet, started hissing. I don't play that shit. I don't fuck with rodents. If it decides to pick a fight with me, I'm scrapping until I die.
We have a rabbit living in our backyard, speaking of rodents.
So I
We leave water out for it.
threw my fucking Coors Light bottle at it and hit it spot on. All I hear is just clunk. It goes
That's a
running
pig.
off with its kid. It goes running off with its little children.
It's little
Fucking
children.
most satisfying thing ever. Scaring a raccoon off is the best, especially when you hit it with a beer bottle.
Don't throw things.
You know that thing was going to attack me,
So-
though. I mean, if it stands up on its 2 feet, it's going to attack you.
My dad, he's like Randy Marsh if he was a real person. For a while, he got real into bird feeders,
Oh, boy.
and we lived in like the
People in their
Appalachian
hummingbirds,
foothills.
man.
Like the northwestern corner of New Jersey is basically West Virginia. It's all just like nothing happening, like and like the Appalachian Mountains, so it's really hilly. That's where the term hillbillies comes from. Anyway, not New Jersey, but like West Virginia. Anyways, he was real into the bird feeders, but the squirrels were crazy there. So what he did, he drove into Pennsylvania because it's easier to buy guns there. He bought an airsoft gun, and he bought the pellets that are like the pest deterrent pellets, not the pest killing pellets. So they have like flattened heads. And he would sit on his porch all day with his airsoft gun and shoot the squirrels out of the tree. But again, these pellets he had, they wouldn't kill them. They would just stun them. So this really confused squirrel would just be munching away on birdseed and just get knocked out of this tree and hit the ground and be like, what the fuck just happened? And that was his thing for a while.
Wow.
Then he was into like woodworking for a while, so he made tables. He was into golf for a while, so I have like a whole set of golf clubs he gave me. He got into Xbox for a while. I was like, well, why can't we play together online? Aren't you into video games? I'm like, I have a PlayStation. He's like, well, can't we just be like online friends? I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that.
My dad tried to do the same thing with the Xbox. He tried to be like, what games can we play together? I was like, I love you, Pops, but I don't think you can hold up.
But you only played the games that he could play with you, you know? It's
I
not
only
like...
play the games that he could play with me, but he can't play those games because he's a dad. I go, yeah, dude, you're not gonna fucking be able. You don't have the reflex time of a shooting like a shooter game. You have the reflex time of The Witcher 3.
Hey, that's a fast-paced game. That's a bad example.
Yeah.
Okay, Fable.
That's another, again, like...
It's not a fast-paced game.
Persona
I
5.
watched him play that
There you
game
go.
and I wanted to kill myself. I was like,
Which one?
God,
The
this
first
is
one?
Fucking boring. Fable 2.
Oh.
I was like, God, this game sucks.
Yeah, Fable sucks. It always has.
I was like, you got the reflex time of a RPG.
My laptop's
fella.
going to smell like beer at work now. Whatever. It's cool.
Beefy. It's gonna smell beefy.
Beerfy boys, if you will.
Yeah, Witcher's pretty fucking intense, dude.
Witcher's
I know
awesome.
that was a bad comparison.
Yeah, that really was.
Like I had a hard
fail.
time with it on easy.
What?
I just saw
Serious? A
Joe's
chump.
man bun, and all I could think about was The Witcher 3.
I'm
Witcher
fucking
3 is a
terrible at a
great
controller
game.
though, and I had it on the PlayStation.
You know, a bunch of slobs made that game.
I know.
Yeah.
Claude's happy about that.
There you go.
That game's
Speaking
fun.
of the devil,
That game's fun.
miss that guy.
I played that game and all the DLC.
Oh,
We need to
speaking of
start.
which,
We
I
need to
picked
start
up-
a GoFundMe to get Claude on here.
Why? Just get him out of his house.
It's so hard.
I see him at
It's
the bus stop
fucking
sometimes. He lives
impossible.
so close.
We went to the Mariners game together, and I
Let's
was
just
like,
go
"Let's take a
record at
picture.
his house.
Let's take a picture so I can post it on the fucking podcast page, so that way people know that you're a real human." He's literally an urban legend.
That's how Ara feels about my friend Ernie, that he doesn't
And
exist.
Gibbs, another urban legend. Gibbs,
Yeah.
another guy who says he's going to join us every time, and then
Did you
doesn't
see-
fucking write me back.
That picture that
Yes, that Tim
Tim
posted. I
posted.
thought that was hilarious. I can't wait to dig into these fucking outlet.
oh man. Dig my spoon into these and then
I
I'll
wait
let
to
him
dig
there.
my fork into these, and it's the
Shout out to Tim Mahoney, our number one super
shout out to Tim.
All right.
Super fan, dude. That guy's a fucking super fan.
We're all 55 minutes. What else we got to talk about?
I
I
got
could-
back into Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, I saw. Okay, while we're talking Final Fantasy, I did see you were playing Final Fantasy 15, and I was like,
Yeah.
why? But it's on hella sale. I was
never
thinking
finished
about
it.
picking up all the DLC because you can
They
get
have
like
a,
the
they have a
Royal.
co-op one, don't they now?
Yeah,
You,
but like
do you want to get that?
maybe. Well, I got too much. I'm playing so many fucking games right now. I told you this, both of you this, but I recently made a purchase, a
Yeah.
Final Fantasy related purchase.
You guys in your Final Fantasy.
I bought
man,
Final
can't keep
Fantasy
up.
14 for my MacBook. Back in the game.
Oh yeah.
Vito and I are figuring out how we can work together. I'll probably have to switch shards or whatever. Pay the $15 or whatever it costs. I think it's free the first time.
Yeah,
I've been on Gilgamesh since the start.
There's some good deals on that kind of stuff now because of
Yeah.
the whole server thing that they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Cool.
it's the like world visiting or whatever.
Oh. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, so
Anyways,
as long as you're on the same, what is it?
what got you? Was it the crossover event that got you back into 15?
Yeah,
Somebody, I think, put it great where, like, Final Fantasy 15 is a great game trapped in a mediocre game. Like, there are some really cool ideas. The battle system is really good. The
Yeah,
magic
it is.
system's weird.
the what?
The magic. Because
Yeah,
it's basically grenades.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
your
basically
magic is just grenades.
and,
Like,
and it hurts your allies.
yeah. But the battle systems are really good. But, like, so much of it... Like, I played it at launch. I finished it at launch. So I had to
Yeah.
go through that, like... I don't know if you finished it yet.
No, dude.
Dude, how do you
I'm
guys
like 7
finish
hours
games
in.
so quick?
Because we don't waste our time
We
playing
binge the
nothing but...
story.
Nothing but Call of Duty multiplayer, man.
Yeah,
Well,
plus,
it's fucking hard for me, man.
Plus-
I tell you guys the reason why I play those fucking games.
so
Because you only have like
get,
20 minutes at a time, yeah.
But
or a quick game of
I
Madden.
get
Well, see, I don't-
dunked. I get dunked into the story. So like that
Yeah, that
that
too.
Shadow of Shadow of
Shadow of
Mordor.
Mordor?
I beat that in 12 hours.
I beat that game quick. I will
Did
give
you
you
play the
that. I beat
sequel?
that game
and
fairly
and I
quick.
take that kind of mentality with every game
that
because
game
I just want to see
fucking-
the story.
That game frustrated me beyond belief.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
That game
explorer.
frustrated me so.
Can one of you take a picture of my current recording setup?
Yes, I'll take one right now.
Absurd.
Live update.
It's pretty absurd.
It's gonna go on the Instagram. It's gonna go on the Facebooks.
Yeah.
Sideways laptop.
But yeah, I mean, the thing
Sideways
is, I don't have to
laptop,
share my.
hashtag buy your dog a t-shirt.
The only person I have to share my TV with is Ara, and like we have a system in place basically where
Yeah.
I get plenty of time. Plus, she leaves for work. The key. See, this is why I say everyone should wake up at 5 a.m. because then you get like 3 hours of video game time in the morning when no one is fighting you for the TV, basically. You know? Because if you don't have to be at work till 9 or like me, yeah, then 5 to 8 is just video game time. And then after work, we don't have to fight over the TV because like I've had my 4 hours of video game time already. Because I get home an hour before too.
Yeah. Well, we don't really have that problem.
Well, you are a PC guy.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
a-
other
I'm a
key.
PC guy, and even
Yeah.
then, like I got Jane into PC, and so
Yeah.
you know. And then like when she's on the couch with the TV and everything, it's usually her on her phone.
Yeah.
Doing like Instagram or something. So
Plus, Ara, like, I feel bad. I'm always like, do you want to watch something? She's like, no, I'm totally fine just hanging out with you. So I'm like, I don't keep playing Kingdom Hearts then. You can just sit there and make
Yep.
fun of it.
hey, that's fun too.
We haven't
Leave
done
a
this in a
beer
while,
spill.
too, but if she really hates the game I'm playing, like Persona 5, she'll just, like, watch Survivor on her laptop. Which is, like,
Survivor?
she hates it.
Puke.
Well, she hates it because she wants to use the laptop for other stuff, but, like, mostly all she's doing is, like, it's background noise while she plays on her Kindle Fire anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
Plays those little mobile games and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Which is really funny. I'm gonna make fun of you. Sorry, babe, but so her Kindle Fire, I bought it for her, so it's tied into my Amazon account. So anytime she downloads one of those dinky little free mobile games, I get emails about it. It's like, your purchase has been confirmed. I'm like, what are you talking about, Amazon? I didn't buy anything. And then I look it up and it's like, like Candy Crush. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I was just downloading a new game or whatever. Treasure diving or whatever. She's adorable.
That's fun. But yeah, so 15. I'm like just about to do the remove quest. So like
The what?
remove
Oh, it's been so
the
long.
lightning guy.
Oh, Rama?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're early still. Wait,
Yeah.
he's Titan's the first one, or is he
Titan's
the first one?
Remu's
Yeah.
the second one. Yeah.
That's so like Gladiolus or whatever. It's like, I have to leave, and you're like, why? You're like, I just have to do something, and then you never. Spoilers: you never figure out what he was doing.
I think you do.
Nope, it's in the paid DLC.
Oh, maybe I saw the paid DLC.
Maybe you did, because in the original game, it's just never brought up. He just comes back later. It's like, okay.
That's funny. But yeah, like I spoiled myself for a little bit of the story already, but I know there's still a lot more story that I never got spoiled for.
Yeah.
And also, having beat Red Dead, I now have like some controller skills, and that's the main reason why I didn't continue playing it, is because that combat system is not very.
We should have
good.
put that one on our list of best soundtracks because it has all the Final
It
Fantasy
has
music in
really
it.
good music. Yeah.
Well, and you can just play all the songs.
I'll tell you guys something that was like kind of satisfying. It's
Yeah.
like the other day I was hanging out, somebody hits me up, like out of the blue. I'm literally like laying in bed and I get a message on Facebook Messenger. It's this guy, his name is Spencer. I haven't talked to this guy maybe 6-7 years. But we were homies back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing. There's no fallout, no nothing.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just-
I've got friends like that too.
yeah. Hits me up and goes, "What's up, man? Are you still playing Xbox?" It's like, shit. He goes,
Shit.
"We haven't talked since 2000.
Shit.
We haven't talked since 2013. Are you still playing Xbox?" I was like, "Shit." I was like, "Hell yeah."
First question.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Dude, I'm still playing Xbox. I play Blackout all the fucking time." And he goes, "Oh, I don't like Call of Duty. I don't like that much." He's like, "I'm beast at Apex." I was
People
like,
still play that?
like, I
I
hate
thought
to
that
break
game
it
was
to you, but
dead.
I'm terrible at Apex.
Yeah.
I have nothing against Apex. I actually enjoyed it. Once I started to get used to it, once I started winning.
It's dying.
Is
Apex.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Twitch, they don't update it. Well, it's not as fast as Fortnite with its updates, so therefore it's not fast enough for those people.
Yeah.
That's a really good
Yeah, you're really
Price
good at
is
that.
Right trumpet. But that was just Christian's mouth. That was not edited in, you guys.
But anyway,
So what am I playing recently?
Fortnite sucks.
I've been
Oh, yeah.
Far Cry
Fortnite's
New
for
Dawn.
fucking 13-year-olds and Ninja.
Far Cry New Dawn's pretty cool. It's just like popcorn, like junk food.
Right.
But it's
Right,
fun.
right.
The story's
I mean-
actually interesting. Justice Seed is in it. Sort of. It's weird.
But I feel like he's a good guy. Is he a good guy? He's a good guy now.
He's
isn't he?
more of like he's sort of.
Yeah, he's
sort of.
he's a protagonist.
Like New Eden is your allies, kind of.
Weird.
But he's like disappeared. So he's kind of like this messiah
The
figure.
reason why you said you liked it so much is because you're not getting interrupted by getting fucking darted.
No, that is
by
great. Yeah,
snipers
you
and
do.
shit.
There's no bliss of any kind that I've experienced except for one mission that's like a main story mission where it makes sense. So it doesn't just randomly happen. And then you do have to go revisit some of that old stuff, but it's all like dilapidated, Mostly you're just fighting guys in motocross gear as
That's
armor.
fun. It sounds like a fun game. It's something that I'm going to get next time it goes on sale.
It was only 20
I didn't
bucks,
pull
man.
the trigger and buy it when it
Shoulda.
was $20, but I'll get it
I mean,
when
they'll
it's
probably
like
get cheaper again.
I'll get it when it's like $10,
There
and
you
then
go.
play the shit out of it.
And then I started playing Cuphead on Switch. Are you familiar with this game?
Yeah,
Yes,
I've heard it's
I've
really
heard.
good, and I also heard it's really
It's
hard.
really pretty. It's impossible.
heard
It
it's
was
very-
really fucking
yeah,
hard.
that's what I
It's
heard
really
too.
cool looking, though. It really does look like a cartoon
Oh,
from
yeah,
the 30s.
it's
It's
really
really
awesome.
cool looking.
Art style.
So this is basically a boss rush game for the listeners who don't know, where you play it, but it looks this shtick is that it looks like an old like Disney cartoon from the 30s, and it even has like music that is reminiscent of that stuff. Like
Yep.
the soundtrack is bumping, and it's really hard, like ridiculously.
It's like
hard.
those old style of games where it's like I'm trying to think like Mega Man.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right, I do
I've-
enjoy the fact that it's like that.
They have a death tracker, and
I probably won't ever play Cuphead.
by the time I
but-
beat the 5th
Yeah, me
boss,
neither.
I had died 101 times. Like that's how hard this fucking game. And I'm good at video games. Like,
want to play you in Halo 3 snipers only.
No, I'm bad at shooters.
Same.
Thought. Good at video games, my ass.
I'm bad at shooters. I'm good at video
I'll play you in
games.
2K too.
What,
and
NBA
Madden.
2K? You'll get crushed, son.
Yeah, I don't know how to play basketball video games, except for fucking NBA Live.
NBA
Live
Jam?
was-
Remember
What about
NBA
Space Jam?
Jam? The movie? It's a movie.
I spread that
Didn't
on
they
my
make a game
toast.
though?
No, that's NBA Jam you're thinking
Oh,
of.
okay.
I spread that on my toast.
Space Jam?
Space Jam.
Ew. That sounds gross somehow.
Fucking
actually.
alien jism.
Yeah.
What else have I been playing? Oh, I played. Did I tell you guys about Baba Is You?
No.
This is
no.
Joe's obscure game of the week. This is a Switch game. It's a puzzle game.
Was it
So-
a free game?
No, I paid
Oh,
for it.
jeez. Oh, yikes.
You push
With a
these.
name like that.
You push blocks around to it's kind of like Adventures of Lolo in that way. But the trick is like some of the blocks are words. So like Baba is you. That means that the character you're controlling is Baba. But if you replace that Baba block with one that says flag, now the flag is you. And then you can chain these together. So if you say Baba is you and win, then you beat the level because Baba is you and Baba is win. Therefore, you win. Mm-hmm. You get it? It's really weird. It's really fun. It's really fucking
like a
hard. It
puzzle
breaks
game.
your brain. It's a puzzle
Have-
game. Yeah.
It's obscure. It's
Yes.
a very obscure game.
Yeah.
Obscure but puzzle game.
So I had this
It
one
sounds
where it was
fun,
like the
though.
wall is stop.
I
and-
do enjoy puzzle games. I think puzzle games are fun.
Yeah.
It's good to work your brain out every once in a while.
It's just
Yeah.
really hard.
Surprisingly, games like that are actually really good for your fucking brain, which is,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Well, yeah, but they say
Definitely
that the
something I
idea
need
of brain
because I'm
training is a
borderline
myth
retarded.
and has been debunked.
it's been debunked.
Like brain
I
training
feel like
isn't
it's
really a
less
thing.
about strengthening your brain and more about
It's more about thinking.
it
It's more
being
about
healthy. You know,
channeling
'cause,
your fucking thoughts.
like
into
when I'm
one
at
thing.
work and I'm smashing my brain dully against blunt objects.
Well, yeah,
as work.
I mean, yes.
You know?
Yes.
But
I get that.
And then like if I did more of those games and stuff, I'd
But,
probably
like, I write code for a living, so I'm using my brain all the time. You know,
Well,
I'm not-
exactly. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
see, Vito and I are fucking zombies. We are.
Yeah, we're zombies.
We are zombies.
Zombie.
And
hey, that
our-
actually
our-
leads into.
Zombie.
I do. I was just gonna say this actually leads into Tim's comment.
So this is we're a new segment called Listener Mail that we should start doing more frequently. Oh,
I'd
no,
love to
what
have.
the
I'd love to have listener mail all the fucking time.
This is gonna be real awkward because I gotta read the laptop sideways.
I can just pull it up. Let me just pull it up real quick.
I got
So
it.
you
So,
Just
well,
whip
I
it
gotta
out.
pee. I gotta pee. Who wants to tell this answer to Tim's first question? The origin story of the Beefy Boys.
I'll tell him.
I was gonna say, I feel like this was Christian's idea. So
Yeah, you know, it's
he
like,
should tell the story.
I mean, it was just like kind of like one day, I realized that Joe and I talked nothing but fucking sports and video games at work, and we'd always get in trouble for it because all we would do is talk.
Well, you would.
Well, I would, because all I do is talk. All I can do is open my fucking mouth. It's my biggest skill, and you know, some viewers do point that out. / in that fucking poem that Joe read, I do love to open my mouth. I love to talk. I love to bring people in, and I love to, you know, I have the idea of entertaining people. You know, letting them laugh, letting them have fun, letting them feel that I care about them in a conversation, in a connection, you know. So I decided one day, I was like, fuck, man. I have so much to say. I have nobody to say it to. I need some pals. I need some microphones. And we need to just fucking record some conversations that we would have at work, but here, where we can drink the drink, you know, have a little sippy sip, get a little drunk, have some coffee, fresh pots, and spout off and have fucking bullshit conversations and have fun. That's what I think podcast is all about. You know, is we're not here doing this because we need to do this. We're here doing this podcast because we're, you know, three great friends. We're three former work friends because Joe doesn't work with us anymore. But we remain friends, and I think it's important to have something that's fun and have something that, you know, even people that we know personally can join in and listen to our conversations if they want to. If they don't want to, fuck it. You know, don't listen. But if you do want to hear and you want to enjoy it and you want to have some fun, you want to have laughs, join the conversation because if there's one thing I will say is, you know, I think we're pretty good at making the people laugh. And I think when we get people like Mark in here and, you know, some of our guests that come on the show, we're good with getting laughs. And I think that's what we specialize in. And I'm all about giving people the best of emotions. Happy emotions, man.
Super Swipe Sunday.
Super Swipe Sunday.
Slosh 'em up
Slosh 'em
Saturday. Super Swipe Sunday. Yeah.
Snip 'em up. Snip 'em up Sundays.
Snip 'em up.
Yeah, that's for those. That's for Mark.
Foreskin.
That's for Mark.
Jesus
say,
Christ. There's your weekly
There's your
foreskin.
weekly foreskin reference.
All right.
Snip 'em
So that's
up
our
Sunday.
behind the beef section, huh?
But what I will say is that the reason why this did start was just because one night I got really fucked up and I wouldn't shut my fucking mouth, and I was talking about the Seahawks. I was ranting about, and somebody said, "Dude, you should really just record this and just record it and have a conversation with somebody or yourself." And I was like, "Fuck, I hear podcasts are the big thing," so I decided to do that. We don't talk anything like bullshit like politics or anything like that. So that was the biggest thing when I decided to do this was, hey, let's have a sports, video games, and music podcast so that we can avoid that fucking bullshit like politics. Because I was like, leave it to Joe Rogan to do all that weird shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like we naturally just feel into the flow. We did have a few lost episodes out there. I think it was just
lost
one.
episode. Everybody's got lost episodes.
Yeah.
But, I think for the most part, we have so much to say and we have so much time to do it when we record that it's like we do have the ability to have hour-and-a-half long episodes, which is what I don't care about the length of our episode because I listen to it on double speed.
Me too.
And it works for me,
a
it works
convert,
for me.
a double speed convert.
So
I try and listen. See, shout out to the deer feed, but your show gets so artifacted at double speed, and that just means it sounds like shit, Jessica and Renee, all right? If someone tells you sound artifacted, that means that they can tell it's a digital recording and it doesn't sound like your voice, a.k.a. it sounds like shit. That's why you need nice microphones for those crazy ones like me and Christian who listen to you at double speed. You can tell.
A lot of people do. Surprisingly, a lot of people
I can tell
do.
at regular speed.
Now, when I'm driving and I'm on a road trip or on a plane, like when I was flying to Cabo, I didn't listen to it on double speed. I listened to it on regular speed, and it actually helped. If I were to listen to it on double speed, it would have made me struggle because everything would be over in 30 minutes or 40 minutes, so it's like, fuck. So I'd rather just listen to our bullshit for an hour and a half, real time, and then all of a sudden be like, you're landed in SeaTac, or you're landed in Cabo. When I fly off to California in July, it's like, boom, 2 episodes and I'm there. Fuck yeah, I'll take that. And I love it, man. I just love talking.
All right.
I'm
going to skip ahead in Tim's questions. We'll come back to these other ones, but I want to talk about, because you mentioned zombies, things that have jumped the shark. Trends, video games, movies, etc. So, zombies.
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead, that was the TV show we talked about, but I think zombies in general have jumped the shark.
Yeah.
And there's your...
I think they peaked around Left 4 Dead 2 and zombie modes.
Well, I think they peaked around season 1 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I think when zombies became like part of regular pop culture instead of just like a horror genre type deal, it kind of
broke it.
It broke it, and it took down the value of how scary zombies actually are, and how scary the possibilities of zombies are. It could happen, with all this science and shit. You never know what they're working on. They just figured out how to revamp a pig's brain that was dead.
I remember that. Yeah,
they just did that, and that's literally there. You go. Zombies start with shit like that. Do not do that.
Remember? There's also the
ants,
what's
the
it
zombie
called when
ants.
you replace an organ? What's it called?
Transplants.
Yeah, they got head transplants.
There's that. Viviana talked about that. Shout out to Viviana.
About what? When?
The head transplant.
She was
really
well,
involved
she's
in that
medical
head
field.
transplant.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was really sucked into that.
She was texting me the other day that she was listening to our episode where we did her rap.
Oh.
Like, you're behind. Catch up.
Yeah, she's behind. Shouts out.
Catch up.
But there is a form of zombie out there that exists, and
Isn't it bath salts?
The bath salts.
No.
That was definitely a zombie style thing where that fucking dude was eating the homeless guy's face.
What?
And would
That's
not go
crazy.
down.
Yeah,
and they shot him like 3 times.
Not in a romantic way.
Yes, this guy was literally eating this guy's face.
LMAO.
And Florida, folks. That's Florida for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bath salt stories from Florida.
Dude, I think there's just a lot of stories in Florida.
There's a lot of stories in Florida. I think the Beefy Boys should move to Florida for a month and then move back and then just document what we have.
I spent enough time in Florida.
Anyway, there's form of zombies that are actual things like the what's it called on the PS4 or the PS3 game?
You talking about The Last of Us
Last
with
of
the
Us.
cordyceps virus?
Yep.
That's like that
It's a
affects
real.
ants.
It's almost a real thing.
No, it is a real
It's
thing.
a
It
real
affects
thing.
ants.
Yeah, with the ants.
It's
a fungus
crazy.
that-
Look it up. Cordyceps.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
fungus. Yeah.
It's a fungus
that like
that-
takes over them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
controls their brain, and that's scary.
Yeah.
And now that they're bringing back a dead pig's brain, I don't like it. We're all gonna die. We are all gonna fucking die.
Yeah. Well, Facebook had to shut down an AI they created because the machines were talking to each other in a language they made up. So like, this is too terrifying.
Yeah, we're gonna die soon, and it's not gonna be because of global warming or a meteor. It's gonna be because
our own
science
hubris, yeah.
fucks something up, and then we're dead.
I wonder which will be quicker. When
Zombies or
when,
AI?
No, when science fucks something up, or if we just kill each other because we're dumb.
Science fucking something up big
I
time.
think it's gonna be
Because
so-
You remember
like,
back in 2008, and
I
they
feel
opened that like
real easy.
they opened
real
that thing
quick,
up
we
in
could just
Europe
kill
that
each
could have
other.
like sucked the
the Large
fucking-
Hadron Collider. It's
Yeah,
still
dude.
there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still
there,
there.
dude.
Yeah.
But they said one wrong move. and the
Oh,
world
that
would
was
get sucked in.
overblown. They weren't
course
going
it
to create a
was, but I was in
singularity
fucking
on the
8th
Earth.
grade.
Come on.
Yeah.
I was in 8th grade. People were spooked up the yin yang, man.
Remember in the 90s when there were two great survival horror series on the PlayStation, Resident Evil and Dino Crisis? Dinosaurs are still scary, you guys. Let's bring them back. The team isn't called the Toronto Zombies, okay? It's the Toronto Raptors. Raptors aren't any less terrifying today than they were in 95 or whatever. So how
Problem
come
is-
dinosaurs aren't enemies in video games? Bring
Problem
back
is, it's
raptors,
more possible
man.
to have zombies than it is to have dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs are real. They existed.
So are zombies.
No, they aren't.
Yeah, man, that voodoo shit. Look up that voodoo
That's
shit.
not even the
That's
voodoo zombies are so not the mainstream zombies
It's
in
fucking
any way.
zombies, man, and that's where they began. That's where George Romero got his influence.
I mean,
That's
to be
where-
fair, like real velociraptors were the size of chickens. So
hey, you just fucking
those are
cunt
just
hunt it across
Jurassic
the
Park
parking lot.
ones. Yeah.
Oh, here comes a raptor. Just kick
Yeah.
it right in the
Yeah.
cooch.
Meow, 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 meow.
And the T-Rex, it wasn't actually the apex predator of its time.
It wasn't?
No, there was something.
There were bigger things?
Is there something bigger and scarier?
Because
than
it had those little
T-Rex?
arms
Yeah.
that couldn't get you.
I don't like it. I don't like big crocodiles and sea monsters. I think that's the
Oh,
scariest
do you
thing.
remember the?
You are terrified
fucking-
of sea
or have
monsters.
you
I'm
heard of-
terrified of the ocean
Have you heard of the
and space.
Titanoboa?
No.
The snake that was like hundreds of meters long.
what
Oh
did
my
it eat?
God.
Dinosaurs, I guess.
Yeah, probably
Humans.
dinosaurs.
Anything
It was
they
in the
want.
Amazon.
Of course.
Whatever they want.
All right. You want to
And
talk
so,
about?
so yeah, zombies. It's sad, but you do have your the way that I see zombies.
I know. Just look at the Cranberries song stuck in my head.
The way that I see zombies is, it's like country music to me. There's your pop country, and then there's your
You're like
your
old
underground,
school. Like,
your underground country. There's mainstream zombies like The Walking Dead and all that other bullshit, which is just super whack. The Walking Dead's fucking terrible. Then,
I never got into it.
but then you got shows like The Kingdom on Netflix.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know
what
how
that
you
is
guys
either.
haven't checked that out. That shit is
Kingdom?
wild. It's a Korean. The Koreans are mastering the zombie. They are mastering the zombie.
I mean, I don't like horror because it's
Train to
usually terrible.
Busan.
Yeah.
You guys have got to check out.
I
Train
can't
to Busan.
watch.
That movie. Brought back
I
the zombie.
am
love
such a
that I had.
millennial. I do not have the attention span for movies and foreign films when I have to read the whole fucking time. Forget about it. I'm never gonna watch it.
It's more of a spook fest than it is
Yeah.
reading. It's terrifying because they
He also
did a
doesn't like
terrific
spooks
job.
either.
I don't like spooks.
Well,
I keep
think
trying
you
to
gotta,
get.
I think you got to invest in some zombie shit and check that shit
I
out.
want to watch A Quiet Place because people tell me it's so good, but I know that I have to like watch it. I can't just like half pay attention
No,
to
you
it.
have
It
to
doesn't
watch it.
work. Yeah, so
'Cause it's-
I'm never gonna watch it.
I think John Krasinski's only a good actor when he doesn't have to speak all that much.
But you're
and
not a
it's
fan of The Office?
I don't think a lot of the people from The Office are good actors outside of The Office, except for Steve Carell.
Yep.
I think everybody else
that's
is
fair.
just kind of like stuck.
You know,
in
most
The
of those
Office.
side characters, they weren't even actors. They
No, they were just people.
they were just writers. They
Yeah.
expected that show to fail. That's why the first season is 6 episodes long.
But okay, so moving on from zombies, I think zombies was one of the biggest franchises.
Wait,
that
I want to go
jumped
back
the
to your
shark.
comment about pop country. Did you see this headline that a bunch of bachelorette parties
Yep.
Nashville is a common location for bachelorette parties for people who are fans of terrible country music like Jason Aldean. It's like their biggest source of tourism right now, and all these bachelor parties are super pissed off because the NFL draft was in Nashville this weekend, so
And
it was full of people.
party,
Yeah,
man. They Nashville killed. They killed that. I love it. I love it. And one day I really want to go to Nashville. It's gonna happen, folks. I will.
for your
go.
bachelor party, you're gonna
That's
be
Tennessee, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
It's a good place for music, isn't it?
For country
Absolutely.
music,
Country
yeah.
music.
Or
Well, used
like
to be.
bluegrass and rock as well.
Hey, Taylor Swift is from Nashville.
You know what's sad is I was talking about
It's a
country
horrible place for
music
music.
and Booj actually reminded me when I said that, that artist Charlie Crockett that I'm really into has got that bluesy country feel. He's terrific, and he's got that old school style of blues, Tennessee style of country music. And he goes, Tennessee style of country music is Jason Aldean and Luke Bryan and all that
That's true.
bullshit. And it's like,
That's where they all record, man.
it's true. It's sad. Sad but true. Sad. Period. Benji, what are you doing, bud?
Sad but true.
Benji, what are you doing, bud?
Benji's being Benji.
We've got a dog interruption. Hey, buddy.
It's the annual. This is the beefy dogs or whatever.
So,
Dog interruption.
yes, Tim, to answer your question, Zombies is probably the biggest franchise to have jumped the shark.
or trend,
Yeah.
you mean?
Trend.
Yeah.
Biggest trend or the biggest.
Also
Whatever the
sci-fi. I
fuck.
feel like sci-fi's dead.
Just sci-fi in general. That's
Yeah.
too broad. I don't
No.
think it's dead.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
sci-fi's
I
dead.
Not
just
with
think
Black Mirror.
so much
not
of
with-
it's
What if you
yeah,
had
Black
actually
Mirror.
come out that's
Black Mirror.
actually good?
Black
That was
Mirror.
like 4 years ago, wasn't it?
The last Bandersnatch was not great, but it was last year. It
was fun,
months
man.
ago.
Bandersnatch
It
was
not
fun.
great.
I feel.
Then you
I
got
feel like
Love,
No,
there
the
Death,
was-
and
problem.
Robots?
The Love Death. I'm watching that. That's fun. I just watched.
Yeah.
I just saw the episode
watch
about the
more.
ancient, it was like the Hong Kong fox demon lady.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of.
That was
my
a pretty good
favorites.
one. That was
That
pretty.
was
I'm like,
rad.
where are the robots gonna come in? Because this is just like myth. Oh, here are the robots. Okay,
Yep.
That was a
one
good
all
one.
about robots.
Yeah.
She was
But-
like the Nebula of fucking Love, Death, and Robots.
Nebula.
Yeah, Nebula from
Yeah,
Avengers.
I don't get it.
Or
Oh,
from
because
Guardians.
she's because
She's like, she
her
was
parents are
picked apart
shitty.
and
Yeah, I
picked
see.
apart and turned into a fucking
Oh,
robot.
I'm thinking Gamora for some reason.
Hi, Gamora.
Why Gamora?
You should have gone for the head.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Thanos, dude. He fucking rules.
I had something else to say, but I
I'm
forgot.
excited to watch that movie.
All right.
great.
Let's break down the rest of Tim's question.
Yeah.
Best and worst jobs. The worst job I ever had was working at Jiffy Lube. Whoo, we fucked up so many people's cars. Oh my god.
Oh, man, that's so fucked.
Best story ever. We had a dumbass working in the pit one day, and he, instead of emptying the oil compartment, he emptied the transmission fluid. So then we refilled the oil on top of the old oil. So he had double oil and no transmission fluid.
Oh no.
One time I put washer fluid in some guy's oil compartment by mistake.
Oh, my God. That's so fucked.
Here's the thing about Jiffy Lube. All they care about is speed. That's all they care about. Quality doesn't matter. You got to get people in and out in under 10 minutes. That's our whole shtick. That's how things keep getting fucked. Don't take your car there. Somebody almost, one of the people we employed hit me with the car and then almost dropped it in the pit. Like,
God.
they were like this close. Like, oh my God, if you drop that car in the pit.
Do they not train you? They don't train you.
No, of course not.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
They have like an online training program.
Worst job for me was probably Volkswagen.
Yeah, cars again, huh?
Cars, yeah. It sucks to say, but that was a fucking horrid job. Horrible fucking job. Fuck that
Worst
place.
job I had was being one of those people who fucking stops you on the street.
Oh my God, I had that job once too.
Yeah,
For
to-
Children International.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of things where like you're trying to stop people and have them like donate to children in foreign countries.
Oh boy.
And it's
Yeah.
all on commission. And if you don't make your numbers, you get fired.
Fired?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
that
just.
sounds like fucking retail.
I don't want
for
to
you.
talk shit about like women using their sexuality as a weapon, but those were the only people who succeeded at that job were cute girls who would flirt with guys to give them money. So I'm like, I have no chance of doing this. Like,
Well, you got
And I'm
your
too
man
honest,
bun, man.
too.
Let your hair down.
I didn't. I
Shave
was.
your
I was
beard, let your
short-
hair down,
I was
shit.
short shaven at that point, man.
Throw
That
some
job
makeup
was
on.
awful.
I'm too honest.
But I only
for
had that
kind
job
of
for
work.
like 2 weeks. It
Yeah,
wasn't very
same.
bad, you know.
Yeah, I worked at Volkswagen for about a month.
Volkswagen.
And then one day I just decided, yeah, I'm out.
Yep.
Clocked off one
I gotta
day,
get
never
up and
went
pee
back.
again, man. This is what happens when all I'm doing all day is drinking coffee and beer.
Well,
Gotta
hang
pee
on
for
a
the
second,
third
man.
fucking
We
time.
can let's wrap
Wrap it
this.
up.
You don't want
let's
to
wrap
finish?
this one up.
We got one more
Yeah,
question.
we
though.
can answer the
All right,
question.
fine.
You can hold your piss.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Best and worst parts of Seattle life.
Ah, yes, I said it earlier when you guys showed up. The clean air. The clean air is probably by far one of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's
The
fine.
fresh-
When there's the fires, it's not so great.
Yes,
Yeah, the fresh air.
the fresh cold tap water.
Yep.
Just being
same.
able to walk up to your fucking sink and turn on the tap water and just guzzle as much water as you want.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's taken for granted big time, but I drink my fucking water like a beast.
Oh, yeah.
And the worst part, crime rates, drug crisis, homeless people. I hate it. I hate everything about it. I have no sympathy for it. I fucking hate it. I don't like it at all. I hate the guys that yell at fucking nothing because they're stoned to the gills.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the people that break windows and break into cars because they see a jacket or a fucking backpack or some shit like that.
That's a big car prowl area, especially downtown, man. It's bad.
Everywhere. Everywhere's fucking bad.
Not everywhere.
My brand new car was broken into and I had all my shit stolen.
Yeah, but you
out of
live
it.
in a bad neighborhood.
That's true. I said a bunch of people were.
If you're on
killed
like
last week.
Hawthorne Hills or whatever, you're not getting your car broken into. Or
But it's like, but then even, the crisis, there's a huge crisis here that's avoided. And it's walking down the street and having 4 homeless, like, super encampments, like
tent cities or whatever.
not tent cities, because those are like communities that are, they're fucking horrible. I hate them. But they're communities, tight-knit communities where they don't really bring their trash out.
Oh.
I'm talking about, like, some random patch of grass in the middle of a
Yeah.
sidewalk has got, like, 4 fucking tents, and they make, like, a mega city out of it.
It's like there are certain areas
And they
that
own it, man. They own it. They love it.
they just let them. Like under the Ballard Bridge used to be one of those spots. They just left it alone. And then the same thing up on like Ravenna and 11th, under under the I-5 overpass there. They'll just let them live there for the longest time.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is like some like crime they can't ignore, like a gang rapist or a murder happens, so they have to break up those encampments. And the problem is there's nowhere for those people to go. So when they have those encampments, you know where they all are and you can just avoid this area. When they crack down on it, they're just now in the neighborhood.
But, the police aren't allowed to do their job. They're not allowed to do their job in the city of Seattle. There's reasons why Bellevue has got none of this bullshit. Because those cops just pick them up. If there's any homeless people in Bellevue, they'll swoop them up and drive them downtown and leave them.
Yeah,
They'll
I
leave them
know.
in downtown
And they ship them
Seattle.
in from California too.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because, dude, I hate it, man. I fucking hate it. Because this place is so beautiful. But now it's getting ruined. It's getting tainted. I fucking hate it. I want to get out of here. I think I just think it's, the tax, another bad thing. You can get into a whole bunch of bad.
There's no income tax here. It's great.
Dude, I have to go out of King County to buy a fucking...
Yeah, but you don't have to pay
Ammo
income
guns.
tax. You don't have to pay income tax though.
Yeah, no, but if I want to buy a $10 box of ammunition, it's all of a sudden $27 because of
yes,
some
that's
bullshit
true.
fucking tax. So I have to go all the way to Cabela's out there and,
You need
Wherever
to
the
move
fuck
to like Vancouver, Washington.
No, I need to move to like Clallam. Where I
Well,
don't have to worry about this
okay.
shit. And I, still
I was
get to have
thinking
the
more
snow.
Vancouver because Oregon doesn't have any state income tax at all. So you could just go over the state line and buy all your shit in Vancouver or in like
Oregon.
Portland
Yeah,
and not pay any tax because
very good, very good.
our sales tax is like 10%, which is out of control. But we have no state income tax. So
But
we still
there's a
end
lot
up
of shit
ahead.
that I could say is bad here, and there's a lot of shit that I can say that there's good here. This place is beautiful. I love.
It's gorgeous.
I love Seattle.
The weather sucks for 6 months of the year, but the other 6 months are beautiful. But don't
Yeah,
tell
and that's
anybody.
summer. I hate summer.
You
In
hate
my
you
opinion,
hate summer
oh,
here.
I love
summer.
summertime here.
I hate summer
Without
in
the
general.
wildfires, avoiding the wildfires.
Yes, the wildfires suck.
The wildfires have been really bad, but
The last few
avoiding
years.
those, summer is fantastic.
Having
here.
come from California, I'm like, yeah, definitely the summers are better. But I'm like, why is there 90 degrees in a place that I came to escape?
It's actually really funny because you can tell the people who aren't from here because by the end of August, we have droughts every summer. So everyone's yard is basically brown and yellow, except for like the one person out of 100 who decides to water their lawn. So you can always tell the people who aren't here. It's like, no. We don't water, honey. All right. If your grass is green in late August, that means you're a foreigner.
Pretty much.
Because fucking, like, I came here to escape the heat, and luckily, like, 70% of the time it's doable, but, like, I fucking hate the hot summers that happen.
Yeah. It's gorgeous here. Things that suck. Cost of living is out of control. I mean, I don't have to pay rent anymore, but even just, like, gas prices are some of the highest in the country. Groceries are fucking expensive.
Yeah,
you know, everything's just really expensive around here. But it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, man. There's a lot of places to go here in Washington that really, they take you, it feels like you're going to so many different places. It feels like you're leaving the state when you go to certain places here, and it's beautiful, man. I love it here. And eventually I'm not going to be able to live here because I won't be able to afford it. But hey, fuck it, man. For the time being, I like it. I don't like the homeless people. I don't have much sympathy for them, which sounds bad, but I'm tired of them. I'm sick of them, and they're not desperate to get out of their situation. They love their situation, and that's all I have to say. Because I'm actually friends with somebody who was a former homeless person, and he said that being homeless was a fucking blast.
No, I read an article like...
It's like all you do is get fucked up, you make money, and you don't pay anything. Everything's fucking free.
Like
Granted,
California,
on the street,
I'm not making
free.
that up. California just ships them here. And like, if you ask those people, when they hear they got a one-way bus ticket to Seattle, they're excited about it because Seattle is very friendly to their homeless. It's compared to other places that you can end up.
Yeah, my buddy was actually...
And we don't really have winters to freeze them out.
He was living in like a little tent encampment by the river in Portland. Mm-hmm. And eventually they came and they cracked down on him. And he said that they fucking trained him up here. Yeah. Brought him right back home. And he was like, I didn't have to pay for it, nothing. I just got brought right back home and went back to panhandling at GameWorks. I'm like, fuck. God damn it.
Jesus.
Breaking into shit. Crazy, man. The drug problems are really bad here. You know?
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy having to step over needles and shit.
Yeah.
It's not my fucking idea of a nice brisk walk. Sucks.
Yeah.
But anyway, this place is beautiful, man.
Yeah, it is.
And this beer was good. This
Yeah.
beer was fucking good.
This beer is really good. Peaches for Me IPA, Redhook.
Redhook, good. It's good beer. Brought to you in part by Miller Lite.
No.
Brought to you in part by Redhook. Check it out. Peaches for Me IPA. It's fucking awesome. The coffee. The Beefy Boys coffee of the day is, Cafe Bustelo, because it's on sale at Safeway and Fred Meyer's and shit, so I bought a whole bunch. And it's cheap. It's good.
You know it's classy when it comes in a fucking giant tin. That's all the best coffee does.
I feel like a hipster.
Are we wrapping up? I do have to tell my dead body story.
Let's wrap it up and take a quick break, and then we'll come back because I got some good stories.
Yeah, I feel like we could make it another...
I think we can get another episode in.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
We're gonna be fucking 2 weeks ahead. Whatever. All right. You know what? I'm not even gonna.